morning, everyone, as we head into this holiday weekend. I don't think we're going to have a huge crowd today because I think everybody is trying to get their last minute closings done and get packed and get out of town for the weekend. I see Tiffany is on from Florida. Hi, Tiffany. How are you? How was your last 2 weeks with the new changes?
Okay, so far nobody's having any issues. I was actually in a setting yesterday where we went over some of it line by line and acted as the people who have listened to the news and all the misinformation and just going through what some of the challenges are. And it was fun. It was really cool. But so far nobody's really had issues.
I actually have seen an increase in business since all of it went down. I'm suspecting that most everybody on the call or most everybody that I know is probably in the same boat. We're all getting more calls, more appointments. I mean, that's just what I see. I'm also seeing a pretty significant uptick in people about to default. Are you seeing that in Florida?
Not where I am. A lot of the people here are second home or retirees, so we don't have that kind of problem as much as, like, say, up in Tampa or Miami, a place like that. Yeah. So we're kind of in a bubble here, but it's slow right here, right now because it's not season. So in a few months, everybody comes back down and things start changing. But people pay cash for the houses here.
Oh, really? Yep. So your market in Florida, just curious, right? Your market in Florida picks up in October?
Yeah, pretty much October. They'll start coming down, prepping for being here for season, which goes until Mother's Day. So they'll start coming down, prepping their houses or looking for places to rent or looking for places to buy. So I got to gear up for October.
I guess that I have a neighbor right next door. Love them. They're my favorite neighbors ever. But they just retired just literally last year, and they bought a place down in Florida somewhere. Want to say Fort Myers, but I don't know. Anyways, and then the problem is they leave mid-October, and I don't see them again until Mother's Day, basically. Yeah. So it's really cool to see the different trends across the nation. In Denver, we had an economist, the bow tie guy, Elliot, the bow tie economist. I can't remember his name. I that's it, but I don't know that's exactly what you call him. Anyways, he calls Denver a 6-month market. And it has been for years and years and years. Kind of jealous of the agents out in California because I think they just have a consistent, I don't know, maybe I'm wrong. But, if you have a climate that pretty much stays the same all the time, yeah, you probably do have a more consistent real estate market. But here, the snow starts flying. So, in September, August is down. And so in September, we always say to our clients, if you're thinking about selling, you might want to put it on right now because you're going to have a 60-day window to get it sold. And then holidays will start. And then the next time we'll talk about listing is maybe January 10th. We'll put a lot on. March, we'll put the most on. So it says that my internet is unstable. So if you guys are having issues, unmute and tell me. And so there you go. So everybody, do we have plans this weekend? Are we going to go do anything fun? Or are we working all weekend? Tiff, are you working or are you going to go out on your boat?
We are not going out on the boat because there's remember Boca Grande, the island out there that was really pretty? They have the H2O Fest. So everybody in a boat, kayak, canoe, whatever is going to be out there. And it's just going to be a bunch of junk craziness. So we'll probably just hang by the pool.
Yeah, I wish I could.
Can come down.
Suma, are you doing anything fun this weekend?
Yeah, I have guests in my house for one day, and one day I will have cleaning work. I have to organize my office, all those things. Yeah.
So, Sumit, tell me, how have you been this week since last week? Talking about the stuff, the buyer stuff we talked about last week. Have you implemented anything?
Yeah, I implemented and I didn't meet any buyers. I did one video and I sent it for editing. Yeah.
I'll tell you what I did this week is in KV Core. I don't know what systems you guys are using, but in KV Core, they now have the core video integration, which is basically BombBomb. And I have lots of leads. I actually have so many leads, I cannot keep up with them. I really should. Hires, there's.
What do you do? Advertising. Yeah.
No, I mean, yes and no. I'm a networker, right? So at heart, I just network. And so I have a lending team here in Denver that really likes the way I run my systems, which is I'm going to kind of hit on a little bit today in the call. And because I handle my leads a certain way, and because I handle my systems a certain way, they send me a ton of leads. I also have partnerships with, like Home Story, Home Light. I got 3 leads from Home Light last week. Clever, Home Story. We got 2 buyers that my North agent's working last week. And then my lender is just constantly sending me stuff. And, there's a bunch of different places that my leads come in at. But, ZBuyer, I used to do ZBuyer all the time. And the funny thing is that I stopped paying for ZBuyer. And, I never stopped. I had communication with them. And now 2-3 years later, a lot of those people are really starting to stop. So, yeah, I think lead follow-up and conversion is a big part of my business, and another big part of my business is systems. And I would say that every top producer that you ever talk to, that the number one most important part of their business is their system. And I'm talking about every little piece of your business. So if you're going to list the house, you have a system, right? Yeah. So I'm sure you have a piece of paper or a checklist or something that says, pull the public records. I call them PDCs. I don't know why. It's been called that forever in my mind. Pull the PDC. Pull the comps. See if it's on the market. See if it ever was on the market. Look at the old pictures. Write the notes. Call the client. Ask what they've done, right? And then if you think after that conversation that you're going to have a pretty significant listing appointment, that I always call my title company, and I, run initial like sight unseen, values that I call my title company. I'm like, pull an O&E, and then please give me seller net sheets for this price, and this price. And then I go to Express Offers and I put in for a cash offer just to see if I can take a cash offer with me. I also go to Homework. This is all before I even go to the listing appointment. Then I also go to Homeward. I have a relationship with Homeward and a relationship with Homelight, and I put in the properties on those as well. Homeward is easiest to work with. And I have a new, remind me to come back to the auction at the end of this, okay? And then what I do is I have my buy before you sell offer. I have a cash offer. I have all of the tax records. I don't ever provide them with this TMA at the first listing appointment unless we're talking about a brand new build and every single house is the same and you can't mess that up. But always take with me, some of the comps, and I always know by zip code. I pull the stats. In the zip code, we have 68 listings. We have 14 under contract. So that is 82. If I did my math right, don't judge me. And we sold 25 last month. right? So that is an month supply. This is before I even walk into the listing appointment, right? So I know by zip code, the month supply, days on the market, averages, and then I take all the options, right? Then, of course, we go to the listing, blah, blah, blah. I look at it. I take pictures as I'm going through the house and tell them it's not for marketing. Why? Because if I do get that listing later, I usually don't have to go back to the property. But if I do get that listing later, then I already have the pictures to remind myself, because when you're going to do it 3 different appointments, a day or a week or whatever, you can sometimes forget if they had stainless appliances or yada, yada, yada. I have a sheet, which is another part of my system, that says room by room, and it lists like the appliance names. It even has a space for serial numbers, because I did take the blockchain course through EXP, and it talks about if we do ever move to blockchain, we're going to be getting manufacturer numbers, date, all of that stuff, and putting it in. So I actually treat my listing as if it is a blockchain, right? And I will put way more stuff in there than we actually need. Anyways, I'm getting off track. So then I leave, I go back, I do the actual CMA, I send it to them, I send the paperwork. Sometimes I send a contract without the price in it up front. So, and then like with an explainer video of, hey, I'm just sending you this so that you can see what we're going to talk about later on. Or if you're the kind of person, because you never know like who you're meeting. Yeah, you might be meeting like an engineer kind of person, and they want to have all the facts, right? Yeah. And then you might be meeting somebody like me who doesn't really care, right? Like, I'm not going to read any of this. I'm just going to like talk to you and see if I like you, and if I like you, I'm going to hire you. That's me. But like, I give them as much as I possibly can with video and all that kind of stuff. And then I also have, a system for once we're under contract. And it's pretty explicit. And I have one for right when we're closing. So my under contract sheet actually includes the closing sheet. And I think that a lot of people really mess up when it comes to closing, right? So you close, and then did you remember to take their old address out of the home box? Right? Yeah. Here's another one. Do you know what percentage? Is there anybody on this call? No. So let's say you have a listing, right? And a buyer comes and buys it. Does anybody know what percentage of buyers never hear from their agent again? 26. I don't know if Jody's driving. Anybody else want to throw me, guys, or throw it into the chat? 50%? Okay, so I'm going to tell you, 86%. 86% of all buyers, at least that was the stat a year and a half ago. Wow. 86% of all buyers close on a deal and never hear from the real estate broker again. Never. So what I do, and this is probably wrong, so please don't judge me. But what I do is if I know that agent, and that agent's a great agent that's in the market that sells a lot of real estate, I'm not going to do this. But if I've never really heard of the agent, right, and I see that they haven't sold a whole lot, which doesn't really mean anything, but it does, right? I make sure that I take my seller out of HomeBot. It's usually my title closer, so I get their emails after closing. And then I set a task for 1 month from now to enter them into HomeBot. Right? And then I put them on a thank you. I send the buyer a thank you for seeing our listing. I hope you had a wonderful experience. If you ever need anything, you need to know anything about the neighborhood, please do not hesitate to give me a call. that is, I try to be, I don't want to cross the line after closing. We aren't anyways. I try not to be disrespectful, but I do know that 86% of all buyers never hear from the real estate agent again. So if I can grab that 86%, then I might get a client for life, right? So I do that. Also sending out reviews. You can send out a request for a Google review mid transaction. So once you go under contract, this is a little tidbit that I'm going to tell everybody. I haven't been doing it. I've been behind. Just because I haven't been doing it doesn't mean that I can't tell you to do it. I do know this works. But we have just implemented this back into my system because I got with my team last week and I'm like, hey, we're falling down because we got busy. So let's throw this stuff back in. Take a Google review, and right after they go under contract, and I know that we all pay for review services, but take the Google review link and send it to your client right when they go under contract. Because when are they the most happy, right? Mm. And a lot of times with our Google review services, like Rate My Agent or RealGrader or whatever, those review services, right? They will like drop onto your Facebook. They'll stay in that review platform. They will drop into all these various places, but they have to click an extra button for it to go to Google anyways, right? So I say take the link from Google, send it to your clients right under contract, and then most of the review services won't let you review until after you've closed. Yeah. So you send the review under contract, right? And then you say, if you want to just copy this review and save it somewhere, because I'm going to send you another review thing after closing that will go to different platforms, they'll often do it. Mm-hmm. So then you send your Rate My Agent, RealGrader, whatever after you close, then you have reviews popping up everywhere else. So my point is there's a system for everything. There's a system for your buyers, there's a system for your sellers, closing follow-up. There's a system for the way you track your listings and you keep up with your production, right? And the more systems you have and the more automations that you have, the more business you're going to do, right? Yeah. Because you're staying in touch with your clients. Yeah. Yeah. Anybody have any questions from today or last week? Or any experiences from last week or anything? Anybody want to talk about systems with me?
Yeah, I'm not a systematic person. I'm going
to tell you your business will increase. Yeah. At least double, at the very minimum double, and it could go up tenfold if you implement a CRM and client follow-up, right? So a month after closing, so today I have to call Tyler, who closed up in Commerce City a month ago. He moved in. I called him 3 days after the move, said, everything go well with your electricity, everything go well with this, how's the house, right? Then a month later, I'm going to call him and I'm going to send out,
newsletter or something,
a little note. And then I put him on the card service, can't remember, send out cards, right? And it automatically has, from a year from closing, it sends out it's your home anniversary, right? I don't have to think about it. It just goes, right? This is the other thing, right? Once a quarter or twice a year, you should be sitting down and going through all your past sales. Who sold? Did anybody sell a house without you, right? Are you still mailing them or are you still paying for them in HomeBot, right? So for every 500 clients you have in HomeBot, you're paying an extra fee, right?
Yeah.
So I found out the other day my send out rate was something like 1,700 people in my home bot or 1,800 people on my home bot. And then there was 900. So I'm paying an extra, $25 or whatever it is for every 500. And 900 of them aren't getting emails. Well, why is that? So we had to sit down with the team and go through and say, did somebody unsubscribe? Or do we have a bad email? Or did they move? Or what? Right? So systems, you got to plan out your year, right?
I just send every month newsletters. That's all I'm doing.
Newsletters are good. Newsletters are great.
That's all I do. Nothing else.
So, in your newsletter, do you have a HomeBot or a scannable QR code?
They're in HomeBot. Yes, yeah, they are in HomeBot and newsletter. Yeah, 2 touches. That's all. And once in a while, I call them. They say, "Super, don't call me. We will sell the house. We will call you."
Do you email? Do you email them or put it into Messenger or Facebook, your newsletter?
Facebook, no. Newsletter, no. Yeah.
No. Well, if you take that newsletter that you're spending money on, right, and you digitalize it, and you put it on your Facebook or your social media, you're now hitting more people than just the people that you've sold to.
Yeah. But, I saw my imagination. Nobody will read the newsletter. So,
you never know.
Never might agree.
So I'm not switching subjects, but I am.
It's good. Even I send it actually once or twice. Then sometimes you get negative feedback. You feel like,
Get another Power Huddle with Jenn Styles. It's like ADD squirrel. Which way are we going? Right?
I know. Yeah. Okay, I'm going to do it now. Thank you.
So like even with farming, like if you decided today that you were going to farm,
print it and send.
You're gonna spend and spend and spend, and you're gonna say it doesn't work. Yeah. But it's not that they interact with it; it's that they see your brand.
Correct.
That's what farming is.
Yeah.
A repetition of your brand.
Yes.
No, so where they see it, in 2 years when it starts to turn,
they will come. Yeah.
Then your farm will be established and you'll start rolling. Right.
Correct. Totally.
So just make sure that you're touching base with your clients as much as you can.
Yeah.
So let's see. Wow. I don't know if you know, but I did a little bit for Krista's new book, The Top Producing Secrets, and I'm ready to go through the
hard copy. I haven't. Yeah.
A lot of my chapter was about my story, which every agent on the planet has the story. But it also talks about your foundations, right? And so, I'm not going to go through the whole thing because it's kind of reserved for her, but I will share part of my screen. Do not judge my tabs. Okay. And I'm only going to go over this for a few minutes because I don't want it to run over our span. No. Okay. You don't need to see everything. Oh,
beautiful slide. Wow.
Thanks. I am probably going to change the covers. Oh, well, this doesn't make any sense. Anyways, hold on. Let me just go through it this way. I'm the agent who doesn't know how to run technology, right? So we're going to talk about that. And if you have any sort of sensory items, I'm going to warn you about this next slide. Okay, so this is what we do, right? This is totally what we do. We, in this industry, we're on a roll. We're doing really well. We're selling everything. Some of us are, I'm going to change it. Right? Some of us are doing really well in the summer, and then we die over in December, November, right? My own agent on my team, and her biggest months are always November and December. I don't know why. The rest of us are always busy in the summer. not trying to rush through things. So anyways, my point is that you want to sort of try to get a hold. Your goal is to be smooth and steady, and you want to get a hold of your systems. The better your systems,
Yes.
I'm telling you right now,
Totally.
yeah, I'm Jennifer Sells. That's all you need to know. And I'm going to jump through it. You have stability, less stress, you increase your production, you have improved communication, and you reduce missed opportunities. That's the most important thing probably today that I'm going to tell you. One of the these are the things that I usually go over. I don't know why my screen is not cooperating. Where did it go? Hold on. There, your CRM system. You have follow through all the way throughout your CRM system. It should include birthdays. It should include home anniversaries. Your lead gen should also have a system. When you send a video, when you send a text, when you send an email, when you do like a core presentation, all of these things should be automated and should be notifying you on a daily basis. The first thing you do when you get up, run through Facebook, then put that down because you want to know what's going on in people's lives in case you need to send video texts. You put that down and you go to your CRM system and see what your tasks are. And you get your tasks done as fast as you can, right? Because that is 90 days money, right? Everything that you do today will pay off in 30 to 90 days. Contract systems and transaction systems. Are you sending emails? Are you sending transactional emails? Hey, buyer, hey, seller. Are you aware that you have an inspection this week? Please change your furnace filter. Check for leaks. Make sure under your sinks are accessible. Pull out all of your roof warranties and all the things that everybody on this call already knows, but that goes in an email, right? Appraisal. This is what's going to happen. You can stay home or you need to leave or whatever your rule is, right? And then after the transaction is closed, who bought, thank you letters, closing gifts, like whatever you do in your business needs to be on a sheet and you need to make sure it's happening automatically when you close. Financial systems. This is my biggest and most passionate one. I think I've gone over this on a Power Huddle before. I actually have an agent sheet that talks about like where your money should go, how you should divide it up, and then how you should predict how much money you should make, right? Because if your bills to run your business is X and your home bills are Y, X plus Y equals this large amount, and you're out taking listings for a discount to only getting one a month, you're upside down, right? So you need to know where your breaking point is to where you're just breaking even, where you're losing money, and where you're making money. So I have a system for that too. Marketing and branding systems. Do you have a VA? Is your VA making your social media posts? What are you doing? Do you have a schedule? Do you have Wednesdays that you talk about the market on your social media? Do you meet builders on Tuesdays and do a video at a builder? Do you send inventory homes to your clientele on Tuesday via social media? Like, what is your plan, right? You have to have a system. Do you have an ISA calling your leads? How does that work? You need to get all of these systems in place. And Rome wasn't built in a day. It took me 25 years. 25 years, right? Actually, it took me 5.5 to rebuild them after my divorce. But I already had the foundation of them. I just had to start implementing them again. Time management. If you go through the Krista Mashore program, she talks about time management a lot. She talks about I'm going to say it wrong, the Pomodoro and what is that? It's like a time blocking, this Pomodoro effect or something. It's where you set a 20-minute timer, then you get up and walk away because they found But, those of us with ADD who sit there at the computer for an hour and work on one thing, we're less productive than the people that work on it for 20 minutes, get up, go to a snack, come back. I don't know why that is, but it's a time blocking technique. Look into that. Do you have a system for time management? And then networking referral systems. You guys got to go out and get business and you have to meet people, right? But realtors, agents, we have a pretty significant issue with networking, especially at night. And some of you may not, but a large percentage think we need to go out to happy hours, right? Or happy hour networking events. I would say get your networking systems, put on the calendar, your networking events, put on your calendar, and limit how much you do that. Because if you're going out every night leading, these networking groups, you're probably going to be running into the same people and you're probably going to be, partaking in alcohol. And I'm not judging you. I drink alcohol, right? I'm just saying the more we go out and do that, the less productive we are the next day. So put everything into a system and protect your time, space, and energy. And then also have a system for your life, right? Are you going to who's going out of town this weekend? Anybody? Or spending, Jody is. Go, Jody. I guarantee that she put that on her calendar, right? And she is living by her calendar, right? That's the way top producers do. They live by their calendar. So I actually have 2 buyers right now that I really, really want to take out because, we're going into winter. But I have it on my calendar that I am going to the mountains this weekend with some people. So I have let my buyers know that I will meet them Monday night or Tuesday night. No, not on Monday night. Tuesday night or Wednesday night, just to pick, right? And it's my system, and I'm not going to lose those buyers. And I'm finding, finally, after 20 some odd years in real estate, that your buyers and your sellers respect you more when you are systematic about everything that you do. Anybody have any questions about systems? Because I don't want to go through the whole thing. I will just give you this one last slide because I like it. Where is it? Right there. Right. I love this slide. So how long has that castle been standing there? Like 500 years or something. Because they built it on rock. They didn't go out and try to learn a funnel but not have a CRM in place, right? They didn't go out and try to learn, which is fine, go out and learn it, right? But make sure that your system is in place for you to build upon the things that you are spending your money on. Jody, you have anything to say? Hi, how are you? Let me.
Hey, good morning. What is your favorite way to track your systems? Do you just literally have a spreadsheet of that and then follow it?
Okay, so first of all, probably won't work for you because I had extreme ADD. So I think differently than a lot of different people. I have a transaction sheet. And so my transaction sheet is shared with the team. And I don't have a huge team, I have a very small team. But I have under contract up top that it's an Excel, it's like a Google sheet actually. So under contracts and then all the dates. Then I have active, all the dates. At the very bottom of the tabs, like an Excel sheet, I have 2024 sold, 2023 sold, so then we move them to sold, right? And then I have coming soon, so the ones that we've signed. And then I have, underneath that, I have the ones that are potential listings that we're working on, right? And then the date we think that they're going to come on the market. So I have some, like I just took Leavenworth off the market in Conifer. And I had that on my transaction sheet that says she's going to come back on the market in March, right? She wants to come back in March or April, depending on the snow falls, right? And so it's always a top of mind. I never forget about her. I tried to use Trello, and I think Trello is like Trello. I don't know how you say it, right? I think that system is phenomenal, right? If you can use Trello up front, because with Trello, you could share it with like your VA, and you can use it just the same way that you do the Google Sheet, right? But with Trello, like if your VA has access to Trello and they see that you've got a coming soon listing, as soon as you drop all the photos in from your photographer, the VA picks it up, and VA immediately, like you don't have to email, right? Because they have access, they check it every day. Then they immediately create an active social media post, a under contract social media post, a sold social media post, and they put it back in Trello for you, right? And then they see that it's there, and then your newsletter, they pull out the front photo or whatever, and they write the description and they put it in the next newsletter. So the newsletter is constantly being built because you're using Trello, and you can share all of the components of the listing inside that system. I guess you could do it from the drive too. I just think it's easier with Trello because you can physically see the property and see that something's new.
Yeah.
Is that what you asked me, Jody? Did I even answer your question? I don't think I did.
You did. I think you did.
No, you got it. It was,
Okay.
I think everyone is just a little different in what they like. And I'm old school, so I do love I don't know, paper and pencil still. I like to have visual, but.
Okay, so I know. What is that? I just ordered it. It's been around for hours. It's been around for like 3 years, and I've just held off doing it. But I wish I had it in here right now. I don't have it. I'm really embarrassed. Do you know the big spiral that's like this big?
Like, I don't know.
The spiral notebook, right?
Uh-huh.
I carry that. And every time I go on a new listing appointment, I fold down the sheet and I write the address on the top. And when I'm walking through, I just take on my note. I have a like walkthrough checklist. I usually take the walkthrough checklist with me, and then I write it on the spiral. And the reason I write it on the spiral is because I can't lose the spiral, right? And I can't lose the loose pieces of paper. But the cool thing that I just found, and I'm going to get off here pretty quick so I don't run over again this week. But the cool thing about this week is it's a digital notebook. It's a notebook that writes like paper. Just ordered it. Oh, I can't remember. Anyways, and then after you write through all of it, you can literally load in but I could load in my sheet, and then, it's remarkable. You can load in your sheet and then stack it all up and handwrite it and all that kind of lovely stuff. Thanks, Autumn. And then when you're done, it'll take all your messy handwriting and turn it into typing. And then it'll save it directly to your Google Drive where your properties are, or wherever you tell it to go, right? You just hit save, then it'll go there. And so then if you want to remember what your notes are, it's literally saved in your cloud or in your Google Drive. I'm digging it. Like, I'm so excited. I'm finally breaking down and buying that. But yeah, because I'm a handwriter, just like you, Jody. Everything, I retain more when I write it than if I type it. If I type it, it's in and it's out. There's no space, right? But when I write, I remember everything.
What is your... Go ahead, Suma. What's your thought on Notion?
I haven't experimented with it. I know that Wendy Goss did like 2 or 3 things on Notion, and I need to go watch them because I hear that it's pretty fabulous.
Yeah.
But I haven't had...
Yeah.
I'm going to be 50 in December, and there's just really not... I don't know how much more I can learn or handle. I don't know if that makes any sense.
You do? Yeah.
Or anybody else have any questions about systems? I don't know that I actually gave you anything of value today. I tried, right?
Yes, you did.
But you can always reach out to me and say, hey, talking about your finance system or talking about your, buyer sheet or seller sheet. I'm easy to get a hold of. Just type in Jenn Sells, Denver, Colorado, and you can find me. Just send me a message and I will always, always, always respond and share with you anything that I have. So.
Nice.
All right, guys, I hope you have a fabulous holiday weekend.
Thanks.
And yeah, go have some fun. And I hope you get buyers too if you're not going out of town or selling. So, all right, have a great day.
Thank you, dear. Thanks.
If you'd like more information or to get connected to the Agent Power Huddle, join our free Facebook group. This call was designed for the agents in our EXP organization, but open to any agent from any brokerage. If you're a guest and you're interested in learning more about EXP or our specific resources within the Agent Collective, reach out to the person who invited you to this call to get more info. Produced by the Agent Collective Media Network.